Hey gang, as always I hope everyone's doing well and staying healthy. Yes, I'm coming to you from a bedroom in our house. It seems to be the quietest place. Well, it was the quietest place until the guy across the street fired up his lawnmower, so if you hear that in the background, there's not much I can do about that. These days I've seen a lot of people walking, more than I've seen in the past for obvious reasons. Often it's when I'm walking too. So with that introduction, here's a piece I wrote a couple of years ago. Now, if my math is correct, this entire story takes place in about 16 seconds. With that in mind, I've broken it into 4 chapters. But before we dig in, I want to cover a couple of things, starting with how I arrived at 16 seconds. I'm not a leisurely walker. Most of the time I maintain a pace between 13 and 14 minutes per mile. It's one, but not the only reason most people don't like to walk with me. Another is that I sweat a lot when I walk. The third reason is that I talk a lot when I walk. For the record, I also talk a lot when I'm not walking. Anyway, this story takes place in the span of about 100 linear feet, or 1.9% of a mile. So if I do the math, 1.9% of 14 minutes is 0.27 minutes, which rounds out to 16 seconds. Another thing I'd like to address is my eyesight. While it's not bad compared to some, it's not great either, and a recent retinal procedure has temporarily made it even worse. You'll see why that's important as we get into the meat of the story. And so without further ado, I give you Seeing Things, a short story. Chapter 1, 100 Feet Away. I was 3 miles into a brisk 1-hour walk when I saw it lying in the street a half block ahead. It just lay there, unmoving. It was dark in color, maybe brown or charcoal gray, with a few other colors and shades highlighting its dirty, worn surface. At first I thought it was a part that had fallen off a passing car or truck, a muffler or maybe a bumper. I didn't give it another thought until I got closer. Chapter 2, 75 feet away. As I neared the thing, I realized it was not an auto part that had been liberated from its host body, but instead what appeared to be a small log or stump. Odd, I thought. Why would something like that be lying in the road? The answer quickly came to me. It wouldn't, because it was neither a log nor a stump. It also wasn't a dirty diaper, an empty 1.75-liter vodka bottle, a lone shoe, or a sofa, all things I'd seen lying in the road during my recent walks. Chapter 3, 50 feet away. Oh my God, I said out loud as I realized the USO, that is, the unidentified stationary object I had previously mislabeled as an auto part and a piece of wood, was actually a hawk. A hawk! I figured it must have been hit by an oncoming car or truck as it flew low to get a good look at some tasty prey. It appeared to be dead since it wasn't moving, but I've learned that looks and animal behavior can be deceiving. If you've read my essay in which I encountered a very alive, awake, and alert possum sitting not more than 4 feet from where I was walking, you'd know animals don't always present the way you think they will, or like they do in children's books or fables. So I slowed my roll as I approached the dead, injured, or possibly just disinterested animal until I was sure it wasn't going to lurch up and fly right at me, brandishing its large talons and that classic pissed-off hawk look we see on all those team logos. The look that makes you feel like the restaurant server who forgot to put the salad dressing on the side like the hawk wanted and specifically requested twice to make sure you got it right. You know that look. But within seconds, I was convinced it wouldn't attack me or anyone else because, Chapter 4, Arrival, it wasn't a hawk at all, playing possum as it waited to attack me. It was a large, dirty brown towel. Did I mention my eyesight isn't what it used to be? The end. Anyway, if you're out for a walk, keep a good pace, steer clear of others, whether human, animal, or textile, and stay healthy. And I'll see you next time.